Hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies, TV shows, and animes. And today I'm going to be doing a movie roundup video where I talk about the movies, TV shows, and animes I watched in the last couple of weeks or so. Now, if you think that it can't get any worse than September, well, you are dead wrong. Because in October, I watched even more films and I watched even more animes. And I'm even more busy with classes and life and work and all that jazz, and I am extremely overwhelmed. I basically watch something every single day. There was, I think 2 days ago, I watched 4 fucking movies in one day. 4. That has never been done before. So yeah, I'm extremely busy and there is a lot to cover in this video. And I'm really tired and sleep deprived. Please help me. So, starting off, I finished watching the anime The Elusive Samurai. This is a fun period anime that modernizes this period in Japanese history. Some animation is really good, sometimes there are silly CGI. There's a lot of tonal whiplash. One scene can be very spiritual or violent, and the next scene can be very lighthearted and comedic, which can throw some people off. But I was quite entertained by this anime, 8 out of 10. Afterwards, for Spooky Spooktober, I watched An American Werewolf in London by John Landis. Unexpectedly, this film is just okay. It's a good film, don't get me wrong, but it didn't surprise me all that much. For the most part, it is a pretty standard B-picture horror film. However, I do have to admit that there are some amazing special effects, and I love how the film demythologizes the werewolf. 8 out of 10. Afterwards, I watched A Touch of Sin. I don't know why I always call this Ashes of Sin. It's A Touch of Sin. This is a film by Jia Zhangke, and I watched this in preparation for his new film, Caught by the Tides. This film portrays the early 2000s economic boom in China, but also with a lot of repressed anger and hatred. This is a 4-parted story anthology that's loosely tied together. The first story is a cool revenge thriller. It's oddly Tarantino-esque, maybe a little bit too violent for Jia Zhangke, sometimes a little bit cartoony, but still done well. Second story is meh, the characters just don't really feel relatable at all. Third story is the most interesting one and the most artistically creative one, considering that Zhao Tao, Jia Zhangke's wife, plays as the main character of the third story. The fourth story is the saddest and the most confusing one. But overall, this film is very thought-provoking, it's melancholic, it's interesting, and I highly recommend it. 9 out of 10. Then, for my animation film class, we watched Sausage Party. I was unironically looking forward to this screening because I know I'm going to hate it, and I hated it. This film is absolute garbage. I'm sorry, not film, movie, flick. This flick is garbage. There's a lot of offensive humor in this movie, and they're not funny, and just because the characters you make fun of become badasses doesn't excuse the fact that the humor from before is offensive as fuck. The animation also looked ugly, and nothing important is being said here. I'd rather watch Annoying Orange. 2 out of 10. Then, Spooktober continues with Blood and Black Lace. I originally wanted to watch another Mario Bava film, but I ended up watching this one because I can't find Black Sunday. The alternate title for this film is Sex Woman for the Assassin. This is the first giallo film I've ever seen, actually, and holy shit, it's insanely beautiful and colorful. The blues, the reds, the yellows, the purples, the greens, oh my god. The opening sequence is also amazing. However, the story itself is just not that interesting or groundbreaking, and the last act is a bit too straightforward. But overall, still really good, 8 out of 10. Then I watched How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies, or Lanma. I am so happy whenever I see a Southeast Asian film being this successful and talked about. And of course, this film sometimes is a bit too sappy and predictable, sometimes a little corny, but overall it is heartfelt and moving, especially the second half of the film. The score, however, is just too damn annoying. Remove the score and the film would be way better, because the pianos just need to shut the fuck up. 8 out of 10. Then I watch Rebels of the Neon God by Cai Mingliang, or 青少年 fuck. Anyways, this is actually the first Tsai Ming-liang film I've ever seen, and I'm ashamed to admit this because I'm a huge Asian cinema guy. This film is really, really slow and simple, and apparently this is already his most accessible film, so I guess his other films are even more slow-paced. And slow cinema is good. Most of the slow films I've seen are really enjoyable, but this one is just really, really freaking slow. However, I do love the way he depicts Taipei as this dirty, almost dystopian place, and there's a lot of teenage angst and sweat in this film that really, I guess, captured me in some way, shape, or form. But overall, this is still a really well-made film, 8 out of 10. Then, the next day, I went to the Academy Museum to watch The Red Shoes by Powell and Pressburger. This is so extremely beautiful, elegant, and moving. The dance sequence in the middle of the film is one of the greatest sequences in cinema. Hopes, dreams, love, life, death all collide. 10 out of 10. Then, I finally finished watching the anime Shikanoko Noko Noko Koshtantan. And it's not that funny, nor that wild. And it still has enough fun moments and good voice acting to keep me slightly invested. Honestly, it's not that bad, but also not that great. 7 out of 10. Then I watched Sleep by Jason Yu. This is a straightforward, simple Korean horror film. We have some great acting from Chung Yumi and the late Lee Sun Kyun. So check this one out, 7 out of 10. Then I went to AMC Century City and watched Anora by Sean Baker, including Sean Baker and Mikey Madison Q&A. And as expected, this is a hell of a fun movie. I love how lighthearted and human the story is. The film looked amazing, there is great use of music, and there's not much to complain about. 9 out of 10. Then I watched the silent film The Wind by Victor Sjöström. I didn't even want to watch it. I originally planned to skip this film because it's part of the syllabus for the film history class, but I have to watch this film for a paper. So this is a tragic story starring Lillian Gish playing a woman who loses her mind because the people around her are such pricks. And it's really well acted, really good ending, or the second last scene is good. But didn't surprise me or anything, 7 out of 10. Then, for my animation class, we watched 2 films back to back. The first one is Who Framed Roger Rabbit by Robert Zemeckis, and I fell asleep because I was too tired and sleep deprived that day. But there's an interesting blend between cartoons and real life, and sometimes the cartoons get a little bit too annoying. I also love the neo-noir element to it. I love how adult the film is at times. The villain is also awesome, but the film is mostly not that clever or anything. 7 out of 10. Immediately afterwards, we watched The Nightmare Before Christmas by Henry Selick and Tim Burton. This is a beautiful stop-motion film with a lot of style, which I really love. I didn't know it was going to be a musical, and sometimes the music is a bit distracting from the plot. Also, I fell asleep for a bit. Again, I just can't control it. I keep fucking falling asleep all day, every day. I am literally dead inside. 8 out of 10. And then I finally watched This Transient Life, or Mujo, by Akio Chisoji. I watched this film for research on Buddhism and film, and I watched this film in 3 different sittings because I constantly fell asleep while watching the film. It took a really hard time to finish it, and the movie is also 2.5 hours long. It's a really, really slow-paced film and also really quiet. There are some mind-blowingly beautiful framing and composition, and there is some great discussion on morality and spirituality and Buddhism and art making, but there is just a lot to unpack. It's a very dense film, and I definitely have to rewatch this film in order to give it a better verdict. For now, it's an 8 out of 10. Finally, I watched Uzumaki the anime, and this anime failed big time. Not only did the animation quality basically crumble by episode 2, but it's also too fast-paced, and the chapters of the manga are rearranged in a strange way. I just wish that there's an artistically interesting or just faithful Junji Ito adaptation in the future. 6 out of 10. Also, I was supposed to watch The Others last night, but once again, I ran out of time. I'm too tired, I'm too sleep deprived, there's too much to do, too much is happening in my life right now, I literally fucking can't. And counting The Others, I have watched a total of 27 films this month. That is absolutely demented. So yeah, I'm gonna end off at that. Thanks for watching and subscribe if you want more.